Episode 9 is said to have many different connections to both the prequels and the originals by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one angle of Star Wars Episode 9 that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing in this movie are, of course, the different connections to the prequels and the originals. And that's one big question for sure, is exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize all those different connections to the prequels and the originals in this story that's also going to be used as a way to move the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey forward in Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with the moment between both Kylo Ren, the Knights of Ren, and even elements of Emperor Palpatine. Specifically, a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren inside of the Dark Spire. It's described to be a place where the acolytes of the Beyond would come to worship many ancient Sith. The next goes over Kylo and his knights coming across the statue of Emperor Palpatine that was once on Coruscant. It's described to be divided up into multiple pieces, tied up by wires or rope on a metallic platform, laying down and not standing up. It's said to be a big Easter egg by JJ for those who enjoy the details in Return of the Jedi. Another of which goes over Kylo Ren coming across the shrine of Emperor Palpatine that consists of a large Palpatine painting that appears to be dusty and weathered. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why I find this to be by far one of the most interesting and intriguing connections to the original trilogy so far. Now, we do know that Emperor Palpatine is going to be somewhat of a character in the background in Episode 9 in the form of holograms and in the form of references and, of course, aspects like this. Now, the statue, I don't know if you guys remember this, but at the very end of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, during the celebration on Coruscant after the death of Vader and Palpatine, you do get to witness the fall of Emperor Palpatine's statue crashing into the ground, which actually destroys it into multiple different pieces, which really does line directly up with this, where this statue is actually said to not be one, but cracked into multiple parts. So it's actually said to be tied up by rope and or wire of some kind on top of a large metallic platform and stored within the Dark Spire. Now, the Dark Spire, this is a place that's actually said to be visited by the Acolytes of the Beyond, or was once visited by the Acolytes, where they would worship ancient Sith and dark side users, and would honestly, bring in a lot of different aspects of past Sith Lords, such as Vader and Emperor Palpatine, and even the character of Kylo Ren. So, the thing here is this, we do know that the Dark Spire is going to be this castle of some kind in this movie that both Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren travel to. We're not quite sure the significance of it all, why they're actually going there. We do know that it's actually going to be used as an inversion to Rey's travels to the Lost City. So Rey's travels to the Lost City is basically a mirror version of Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren and their travels to the Dark Spire. Now, I'm not quite sure if the Dark Spire is the same exact thing as Black Spire on the planet Batuu over at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and the theme park itself. I think it's something different, to be honest. I don't think it's the same exact thing. But when we look at Episode 9, you can see all the connections that J.J. Abrams is really trying to make here in this movie. I really think that the Shrine of Palpatine sounds very intriguing for sure. How it's like a painting of Emperor Palpatine that's considered to be very weathered and dusty and just ancient and old looking. And the other of which is the large Palpatine statue that's divided up into multiple different segments and or pieces, laying on top of a metallic platform and pretty much wired together in order to keep it intact. Now you can see how the Acolytes of the Beyond are the ones responsible for really recovering a lot of the ancient Sith lore and the artifacts and relics, as well as the more recent Sith Lords of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. We do know, and it's heavily implied by some of the books out there, that the Acolytes are the ones responsible for coming across Darth Vader's lightsaber firsthand before the Knights of Ren, and even Darth Vader's melted helmet and the armor that was left behind on, of course, the forest moon of Endor. So you can really see how the Acolytes of the Beyond are very important in the background of really bringing these relics to life in the sequel trilogy of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited to see exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize this into the story and really make it work for the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey in this movie, moving from start to finish of the plot of the film. So, what do you guys think about the Dark Spire? Where are we? What planet does this take place in? Is this just another way of saying Darth Vader's fortress or his castle? Or is it an entirely new castle in Episode 9? Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.